Hello, my yarn lovers, my fiber artists, my crafty and creative people. Today's video is going to be a little yarn review, and the yarn we're talking about today is the Debbie Bliss cashmerino aran. Now this yarn is, because it's aran, right? So it's a number 4. I'd say we can take a look at it. It's a nice number 4 in my opinion. That's a nice number 4. The color that you're looking at is called blackberry. It's a nice deep dark purple. Now this particular yarn is 55% super wash merino wool, 12%, 33% microfiber acrylic, and 12% cashmere. Okay. Now it's only 12% cashmere, but you know what? You can absolutely feel that cashmere in it. Okay, cashmere, a little cashmere goes a long ways in a yarn. I think for a cashmere yarn with even that little bit of 12%, I think it's fairly reasonably priced, right? As much as I'd like to say, oh, I'd love to have a yarn that's like 50% cashmere, well then guess what? It'd probably be much more out of my price range, okay? But there's enough of the cashmere in it, plus the superwash merino wool, that you honestly don't feel the acrylic. They say microfiber acrylic, and I don't even feel the acrylic in it, right? Sometimes acrylic can feel, well, kind of plasticky, because that's what it is. You don't get that feeling at all. Whatever acrylic they put in here is really soft microfiber. So I think I have found, I knit and crochet, by the way. If you are new to my channel, hi, my name's May. I love yarn, I love to knit and crochet. Those are my hobbies, and I also happen to have been born visually impaired. I am completely colorblind. I knit and crochet by feel, and I just like to share my experiences with the yarns. I like to do a couple of knit projects with yarns, a couple of crochet projects, let you see the items and share with you my experiences with them. Now, just because I am sharing my experiences doesn't mean that's your experience. Doesn't mean that I'm the expert. Okay, I can learn from you. I absolutely welcome your experiences. So if you love this yarn, feel free to say, yeah, I love that yarn too. Or you know what? If you're like, nope, that wasn't my experience, you're welcome to say that too. Okay, nothing wrong with having different experiences and sharing them. Let's just stay respectful of each other. And hey, in today's world, honestly, social media is such an ugly place with disagreement. When we have yarn and knitting and crochet in common, there's nothing wrong with also taking the opportunity to practice our skills of learning to disagree, but still finding common ground, still staying respectful, right? So if your experiences are different than mine, it's totally okay to share that. Now they say that this yarn is machine washable. They do say do not tumble dry. I've never put mine in the dryer, okay? I'm going to tell you a secret. I've never even put mine in the washer. When I need to wash this yarn, I do hand wash it. I am afraid to put it in the wash machine. Not going to lie. So, now, given that it's a wool, it's very breathable, right? Wool dries out quickly. It doesn't really absorb sweat and odor the way cotton does. So, you don't have to wash it, in my opinion. You don't have to wash wools as often. But, obviously you still need to wash them sometimes. So, you still do need to wash them, but I just hand wash them. So anyway, let's talk about the yarn. I have knit with it. This is in the color black, right? This is a scarf. We got some antler cable. I did just design this myself. We got some cables. Look at the cable. Look at the stitch definition on this. I do turn on the light, by the way. I am visually impaired, but I do turn on the light at the end so you can really see this well. But I love the stitch definition on the cables. This is the antler cable hat. I designed it myself. I still need to rework this hat, perfect it, actually take some notes, write down what I did. And then I also made some fingerless gloves. All these are knitting projects that I did. Fingerless gloves. This yarn is super, it's really, really soft to wear, right? And then it's also nice to work with, okay? I even made this sweater. This is in the color Blackberry. This is a free pattern on Knitty. And I will do my very best to link that up in the comment section. This is my very first bottom up sweater where you work it from the bottom up, and then you make the sleeves separately, and then you join it all together in one big circular yoke. And so if you are wanting to learn how to do bottom up circular yoke sweaters, I highly recommend this pattern. It's a great place to learn. It's a great pattern to learn that skill, and it's free, and you get to work with this absolutely luscious soft yarn. Okay, so I have knit with it, and I have crocheted with it. I also crocheted, this is in, okay, after I did my Blackberry sweater. If you know me, you know I love to shop the sales, right? I love to shop the sales. And if you're wondering where you can find this yarn on sale, Webb's America's Yarn Store carries W Bliss Cashmerino, and they frequently put this yarn on sale. I would say several times a year you can find this yarn on sale. So if you can wait, if you don't like, I have to have it right now, you can wait, you can watch that page, and you'll regularly, a few times a year, you're going to find this yarn 20 to 25% off, and then you really do get a good yarn with cashmere. Now these little donuts, I think they're only about 98 yards, so I'll be the first to tell you they don't go super far, but I did make this short sleeves. The short sleeves are blind or visually impaired. My sweater that I'm talking about, it is rib. It's knit 2, purl 2, rib. It's super, super, super basic. It is short sleeved, and then it has like a little eyelet round where you put your little ribbon in and tie it. I did make mine longer than the pattern. I just wanted it longer. The one in the pattern is shorter. I just kind of wanted to cover my bum, right, a little bit more with my sweater. I like it longer that way. So, but you can do you with yours. I buy mine at 10-pack. When I can find a good yarn like this on sale at Webb's, I'll go ahead and buy the 10-pack, right? And that way, if I don't know, because when I buy yarns on sale like that, I don't always have a project in mind. So I will, buy the 10-pack on sale and then think, what am I going to do with that yardage? And so I made this with my 10-pack, and I had about, I think, just over 2 skeins left over, I think. So maybe 2.5 skeins left over after I made this sweater. So of course, I was looking for small little stash busters, and since I've taken up crochet now, I really wanted to crochet with it, okay? So I went ahead and did, this is a beanie from a free YouTube tutorial by Juan, the yarn addict, and it is an alpine stitch beanie as well in the color Blackberry. It's the leftover from my sweater. You use a 6mm hook on this, and then I still have some left over. As you can tell, I still have one whole donut. What am I going to do with one little donut left? I don't know. But I did want to crochet with a smaller hook. I'll be honest with you, when I knit this sweater, when I knit my little antler cable hat and my gloves and my scarf and the black, I have no problems with the yarn. It feels really good. It feels good to work with, and it feels even better to wear, okay? No problems with the yarn whatsoever. When I worked Juan's beanie on the 6mm hook, I also had no problems with the yarn. Now I did go ahead and make these little crochet baby booties. These are also a free YouTube tutorial. I think she's called Blue Lemon. I'll try to link her up too. She's a little British lady with the cutest little accent. She does use U.S. terms, but she walks you through these little booties. So stinking cute, right? Now I did use a 4.25 millimeter hook on these, and that is where I started to have a little bit of problems with snagging and splitting, especially on the decreases. To do baby booties, you gotta do some decreases, right? So you gotta do that single crochet, two together, that kind of a thing. And so the yarn, and that tends to be a problem for me. I'm not saying that's going to be everybody's experience with the yarn, but for me, if I'm going to have problems with snagging, with splitting with a yarn, it's usually going to be crocheting with a small hook, especially in single crochet, okay? That's where I have the most problems. Other than that, no problems working with the yarn. It's a dream to work with. Feels great on the hands, feels great on the body. I would say this yarn is great for wearables, okay? It is a next to your skin yarn. This little short sleeve rib top that I have, this little sweater, I don't wear anything underneath it except a bra, right? I don't need to put like a cami underneath it. I don't need to put a tank top underneath it. I don't need to put a t-shirt underneath it. Now, of course, you can for warmth, right? If you want to layer because it's a little chilly, of course. But this yarn is not scratchy. It's not itchy. You can wear this next to your skin. It's a wool cashmere microfiber blend that is soft enough to wear next to your skin all day, okay? Not just like for a little time and you get squirmy. All day. The scarf and the hat, I would definitely say make your winter accessories out of it. This is the kind of yarn you can wear in a scarf. You can wear it next to your skin all day, not get red, not get irritated. It's very, very warm, right? My little sweater, I've worn it, it's warm. So I would say with this yarn, yes to scarves, right? Anything that's next to your skin, yes to scarves, yes to your winter accessories, yes to your hats, yes to your fingerless gloves or your mittens. Certainly yes to cardies as well. It's very, very warm. And I would also say, now, if you're familiar with Debbie Bliss, she does a lot of baby and children's patterns. And I would say yes, right? Because we love to put these soft yarns on baby projects and little projects for the littles, right? It's nice to give them a nice, soft, warm wool that's not itchy. Obviously, if they got wool allergies or cashmere allergies, not appropriate, right? This is animal fiber. But if they don't have any of those allergies and you still want a nice, warm, next to their skin garment, this is it for you. Just know that you probably can't put it in the dryer. I wouldn't put it in the dryer. They said not to put it in the dryer. I just don't know. But she does say you can machine wash on gentle, right? Haven't been brave enough to do it yet. So, do I think you can probably wash those child garments on gentle, on cold? Absolutely. I would even be tempted to make a baby blanket out of this yarn. But just know, you're not going to be able to put it in the dryer, right? So you're going to have to hang it up to dry. So, that's the only thing with kids' garments. We know kids sometimes do, little babies, they do what babies do, right? They can be a little bit messy. So, if you don't mind, I think, with the baby stuff, like a baby sweater, it probably wouldn't be too big of a deal to hand wash it and stretch it and lay it flat to dry, that kind of a thing, a small child sweater or hat or something like that. So I think that for any of your next to your skin, excuse me, any of your next to your skin clothing, any of your winter accessories, I would even do shawls and wraps and that kind of a thing with it. You could probably even make some really nice thick winter socks with this. I'm thinking you could. Yeah, I made those baby booties out of it, and I would certainly think that you could put these right on you know, if you wanted to, because these baby booties are crochet, so they are, in my opinion, crochet just a little more gappy than knitting, right? It's not as tight. So if it were like really cold out, you'd probably want to put like a little pair of baby, you know, footy socks underneath. But if not, I think these could be the kind of yarn that you could put right next to their little baby feet and have no problems. They wouldn't irritate their feet at all. You know, just know that it's going to be airy. It's crochet, right? So, but I certainly think you could do that. I think you could put this next to skin on a baby. I think you can absolutely do cardies. I think have fun with the warm winter wearables with this yarn. Because it's a number 4 aran, it might be a little heavier for your summer garments, like my blackberry sweater. Even though it's short sleeved, I don't wear it in the summertime really, because the yarn itself is so thick. Now, of course, this yarn does come in a DK weight, and it comes in the cashmerino baby, which is a sport weight. So probably if I wanted to make myself like a summer tank or something, you know, or a summer tee, I'd probably use one of the lighter weights. I'm not saying I wouldn't wear wool in the summertime, I would, but I would just probably go with one of the lighter weights or varieties of this particular yarn. Alrighty, my friends. Well, as I said, please feel free to share your experiences with this yarn. Do you like to knit with it? Do you like to crochet with it? Do you have any problems with it? You know, is your experience different than mine, right? I'm not the only voice in this world. You're welcome to share yours. So let me know your thoughts on this yarn. And as always, happy stitching. And if you know, I do turn on the light at the end. I will let you see the colors of the blackberry. I'll let you see the beautiful stitch definition in the cables. All right. Okay, well, here is the sweater in the blackberry. Look at that deep, rich color. And this color has a nice color palette too. I think there's at least 3 shades of blue. I think there's like a navy blue, a denim blue, a sky blue. There's at least a couple of different reds. She's got a ruby red, a crimson red. This is the alpine stitch beanie, again with the crochet. You got great stitch definition. This is the little donut. This is the label that you're looking for. And let's see, what else do I got over here? Okay, these are the blackberry booties. You can see the stitches. They're a little bit big, you know, but they're cute, right? Cute, cute, cute. You can see the cables. Look at the stitch definition on those cables, on the gloves and the hat and the scarf. That is gorgeous. I think the stitch definition on this yarn is beautiful. So I would definitely say yes to cables. If you want to make a gorgeous, really warm, really soft cable sweater, I would say this is a great yarn for it, right? I mean, some yarns are not great for cable work because the stitch definition just isn't there. Like the cables just don't pop, you know? With this particular yarn, I think the cables pop. Even in the black, right? Even in the black, cables pop on that. You can really see that. So yeah, I would say yes to your cable work. I would say if you want to do gorgeous cable work sweaters, this is your yarn. Alrighty, my friends. Well, thanks for listening. And of course, happy stitching.